topics and opinions expressed in the following show are solely those of the hosts and their guests and not those of W4CY Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4CY Radio or its employees or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4CY Radio.
Welcome to the Ask the Expert show on W4CY Radio and Talk4 TV, where we bring you educational information from top local experts in the fields of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. Now sit back and listen to experts in family law, association law, hearing loss, business brokers, home care, along with many other topics. Now here are your hosts, Steve-O and Sophia.
Hey, good morning. Welcome to the Ask the Expert show. I'm your host, Steve-O. If you knew what my last name was, you would understand why I go by Steve-O. Good morning, everyone. We have got an incredible second half hour. One of the gurus, the doctor of weight loss. We are so blessed to have Dr. Gupta. He's mindful wellness. He has an incredible way, a technique of losing weight that I have not seen across the country. And I got to tell you, the results that he's getting are just amazing. So if you've been trying to lose weight and have had no luck whatsoever, we know you lose weight and then all of a sudden you end up gaining it all back. I want you to spend the next 20 minutes with us and Dr. Gupta. And I think you are going to learn about weight loss. And now there is a way that is long-term. Let me welcome Dr. Gupta. Good morning, Dr. Gupta.
Hey, how's it going, Steve?
You know, we do shows all over the country, which means there are so many. We've got Mountain Time, we got Central Time, we got Eastern Time, we've got Pacific Time. And I gave Dr. Gupta, I think I gave him Mountain Time instead of Pacific Time.
That's okay.
Bottom line is he is here. Dr. Gupta, I find myself bragging about you.
You're very sweet, Steve.
You have come up with a concept that I'm telling people now. This would be a great gift to give to a relative. You might not want to give it to a friend. They might get upset with you about that. But to a relative, a gift like this, where they can sit down or go over the phone with Dr. Gupta, one of the most incredible weight loss programs. Before I go any further, Dr. Gupta, is it Mindful Wellness now?
Yeah, so we're in the process of rebranding. It's probably going to take another month to complete that. But that's a good point, that you just made, because weight is a very sensitive thing. And I never advocate, like telling somebody that. You always have to have permission to be able to talk about it with anybody. But that's, I think, one of the also things that moving to wellness, we're going to be treating more than just weight, right? I mean, we have already hormone replacement, we have weight in kids. We're eventually going to expand to other attributes, substance abuse, just regular mindfulness, just regular health coaching. So the eventual goal is to create this entire wellness product, which is going to be more than just weight, although weight will obviously be a fundamental part of it.
So you're going to get into also substance abuse on the same theory as you use for weight loss.
Yeah. I mean, it works because, again, just non-judgment, right, is the key, and just compassion and starting where getting to know people. All of that works for a lot of different things.
Dr. Gupta, I don't know if you know this. I deal with a lot of substance abuse facilities across the country. And so I've learned a lot about substance abuse. The way you teach weight loss, I know is going to work for substance abuse.
Yeah, I mean, like
Same theory.
biologically, yeah, and biologically, it actually interacts with the same part of our brain, right? And we actually use some medicines
Exactly.
that are similar for like these ultra processed foods. When you look at it on the scans, it activates that dopamine pleasure pathway. So it's kind of like, obviously there's some differences, but a lot of it is also, it's very similar again to the principle that as humans, we all seek to escape from suffering, right? And all of this stuff feels good and it makes natural. But I think the key point is not to judge people for that, but just to be there with people, understand it, right? And like just understand, oh, of course this makes sense, right? Why someone would act the way they do or do the things they do.
Again, like I said, I deal with substance abuse and some really high profile ones.
Interesting.
And I got to tell you, what you're getting ready to start is so needed. And I did not know that you were going into substance abuse, but I got to tell you that to me, food is something that it's so hard to not get rid of eating food. Of course, you can't do that, but it becomes where every day you've got to have that food. Same thing with substance abuse. You've got to have that drug. And I love the fact that you're going to be attacking this through the mind, basically.
Yeah, 100%. The mind and also compassion. That's like, I just like always like bringing that front and center.
Yeah, and then Dr. Gupta, because I got 2 letters last week saying that they wish that we could do a show just on kids, nothing else. And we've done, I guess, some shows where maybe half of it was about kids, but you're going after that audience also.
Yeah, 100% we could do that. I mean, I'll just bring Dr. Mishra. We'll have Dr. Mishra on. And
exactly, because
if people want to ask
start them young.
Yeah, 100%. And if those people want to ask specific questions, they can give it to us. You give it to us in advance so we can have like a really good discussion.
Well, we are starting to promote that you can actually send your questions in.
Yeah, I would love that.
To Dr. Gupta. And it's just a thing where we have to make sure that the questions asked online, since we are live, that we can ask those questions. So we ask that and we will start promoting that tomorrow, where you can actually, we have, Dr. Gupta, we have a show that has been running for 10 years that we do it that way. And they get about 20 to 25 questions a month just for that one show. So we're starting doing that.
Let's go.
I love the fact that, kids, and what age do you start at?
12.
Okay. In other words, we can start educating them before they become adults. And I got to tell you, your general manager, who actually started with you as a patient.
Yes. Yeah.
She said something that I will never forget. Even today, she says, I can't wait to wake up tomorrow to continue with my journey.
Yeah.
She loves how you teach this. I mean, how many people say, I can't wait till tomorrow so I can continue with my
She's part of everything
weight
too.
loss.
She's helping
people. That's amazing, Dr. Gupta.
Yeah.
Now, so I want you to explain to everybody again, because you're about a month away from changing. Not really. I think you're adding to your concept. Tell people again all the areas that you are going to be working.
Yeah, of course. And by the way, we launched our new website. So if you go to mindfulwellness.com, it's a new website. So we're still fleshing out all the little parts. Everything just takes like more work than you think it does, than I thought it did. But the thing is, we have a new website called Mindful Wellness Right now, currently, we have Mindful Weight Loss still, which is just, how we started everything. Mindful Healthy Kids, which is a program taking everything, specifically targeting ages 12 through 17, and Mindful Menopause, centered around Dr. Shah, who's an amazing urogynecologist who's helping bring everything we do into hormone replacement specifically. And so, in addition to that, we will eventually start with substances. We'll also have a separate health coaching program only that can help with stress and sleep, right? Those are kind of the things we're centered around. Right now, we're actually working with Keller Williams to become part of their wellness program. So we're going to start that program there too, like to be just the health coaching or with everything else we do as well. So it's kind of like moving in a lot of different directions, which is very exciting.
But they all really come down to whether it's weight loss or whether it's substance abuse or just anything mindful.
Yes.
I'm watching this develop because we started about 6 months ago. I'm watching this develop, and it's just like you're making all the right moves, Dr. Gupta.
You're very sweet. Thank you so much, Steve.
Now, because I got a letter the other day going, thank you for bringing a true weight loss show. And they wanted to know also, when you have a patient who starts with you, and a lot of people have the same question. How much of your teaching is eating and how much of it is working out, or none of the above?
Yeah, this is a common question, right? And I think it has to do with, I guess we all have limited time and energy, right? So it's like, how do you spend that time and energy? So it's really important that's what we talk to people for an hour, our first visit, really starting where people are. Right? We have people who haven't worked out, who haven't been that, who have negative connotations to that, who have a lot of guilt and shame around that. So we don't start with that at all. But then we also have people who are working out multiple times a week, doing something. And then I always say, like, if you're already doing something, the goal isn't to put more effort, it's to optimize it in a way that can help us with weight loss. So if you're already there, you go to the gym 3 times a week, we would help optimize that from whatever you're doing to something that is just biologically works a little better. Nutrition is always part of it. I don't use the word diet though. It's just basically there is no right answer. It's figuring out what you're doing and how can we optimize it just enough that fits in the context of your life to help us get this done, right? So I think the dichotomy between like nutrition, not nutrition, or whatever, it's just kind of like you look at someone's life and there's 5 buckets. There's how much we eat, what we eat, sleep, stress, physical activity. And just like figuring out where those areas are, where we can move the levers, right, in those areas to help get this done.
Dr. Gupta, how do you deal? Stress plays a very important part.
Yes.
When it comes to weight. How do you deal with stress?
So we have basically everything. Like we have medications that I put people regular on. We talk to them about everything in their lives. We find out the root causes and we deal with that, whether it's like interpersonal stuff, whether it's like work stuff, whether it's kids, whether it's anything, right? I always say nothing's off the table. I like people telling everything. And then we brainstorm, right? Because I think as humans, we all need support. Like I need support, right? Like it's like you can't do it for yourself as effectively as you can with having someone there to listen to you empathetically, compassionately, and help you through this journey, right? And it's not like, oh, I'm telling somebody what to do or whatever. It's just we work together to get this happen. But again, it's like some of the things you can intellectually think of, but it's not an intellectual thing. It's more like this emotional thing that has to be done. That again, we're great together as humans, not because we're separate, but because we're together, right? That's why we, for the most part, escaped the forests and built this 8 billion like strong, world. And I think it's because we work together and we're there for each other.
Dr. Gupta, how do you keep somebody, I think you're going to like this word, how do you keep somebody from backsliding?
The thing is that backsliding, you accept it, right? Because backsliding is part of it. Instead of like thinking that, oh, I have to hold on to something so tight, and then if I let go, it all falls apart, right? Instead, you say no, like it is going to fall apart at times, right? You might have to go travel for work somewhere for a month or something, or you might be having trouble in one area of your life. It is like, instead of like having that fear, and again, it's not an intellectual thing, this is a practice thing, because fear response is so intense, but like we practice that fear, sitting with that fear. And what I always say, our practice is coming back. It's not been perfect, it's coming back over and over and over again. So we realize, because of how we define this, disease of obesity is a chronic relapsing thing, right? So I always tell my patients, unfortunately, it's not like once I get there, I'll be happy and never have to think about it again. It's more that it's this practice of like, we go with the processes we do to make this work. We something happens, we start gaining weight again. Then we, again, reassess what we're doing, look at our life with empathy, use what we've learned, but then adjust it to the facts on the ground so that we can continue practice coming back and, continue getting this done.
I've always thought that one of the worst things is that you say, you know what, I fell off the horse, and saying I'm going to get back on again. You go, well, it's only one day and I'll restart tomorrow. But tomorrow becomes next week, a month.
Yeah.
So I think what I love about what you do, Dr. Gupta, is you don't make people feel guilty for not being successful. Because, if you try to be 100% successful, you will fail. I promise you, there's no such thing as 100%.
You can't learn to ride a horse without falling off, right?
Yeah. But here's what I love about what you do. We're inundated by commercials for weight loss, inundated.
Yes.
And, they don't sit down with you individually and find out what the problem is. It's just like they make it like everybody has the same problem, and it's not that way. And that's where you come in. You're an MD. You're used to sitting down and getting a history and physical. That's how you've always started off.
Yeah.
But no, they never did that with weight loss. They just said, here's a pill, or
it's crazy.
It doesn't work for everybody, does it?
No, and there's like I've done like recon on all the competitors, and there's people with billions of dollars out there, and it's still like 5-minute appointments. It's like crazy to me. Like I guess like, yeah, I mean, everything you're saying, you just can't treat people, especially in something like this. I mean, that's why it doesn't work, right? So many times over and over, and so many, like, this has been such an intractable issue in our society for now, like 60 years, right? And it's just because people aren't taking the time, or it's just they're doing it wrong. It's just, you got to just sit down, talk to people non-judgmentally, and figure out the best way, again, that works in the context of people's lives to do this.
Well, I don't see, I mean, if you think about this logically, think about this. Everybody's body is different.
Yes.
Everybody's mindset is different. How can you have one pill cures it all?
Yes, exactly.
Which you have an arsenal in your bag.
Yeah, 100%. Everyone's challenges are different, right?
Yes.
Everyone has different
things. You've kind of got that safety net. Yes. Once they've started with you, now how do we keep this up and keep you from falling back? It's like you've got every phase covered, Dr. Gupta.
Yeah, so we see our patients initially for an hour, and then with the clinician, we see every half an hour, every month. But then also we have our wonderful health coaches. I should bring them on one of our shows. They're amazing. But like they have unlimited half-an-hour appointments. And then if someone's not losing weight, we also, like me or my, we see, again, even in between those appointments, then you can text us 8 to 8 throughout the week. It's just we provide this whole like safe, again, you just use your word, safety net of support, right? to help people because we need it. Again, we go out into a world that has spent that's making trillions of dollars trying to put this stuff into our bodies, right? And so we need that. That's the only way to do it.
Well, I got to tell you, I hope this hasn't sound like a tease. Here we have this great theory of how to lose weight. We've got, to me, Dr. Gupta is going to be so well known across the country. So we're kind of teasing you a little bit because what we want you to do is to call Dr. Gupta's office. It doesn't matter what part of the country you're in. This can be done. One of the good things that came out about COVID is we learned that you can treat people, through video.
Yes.
And so it doesn't matter. Again, what a great present to give maybe to your mom or your dad or your brother or somebody, and call Dr. Gupta, call him, make an appointment. It would be the greatest gift that you could offer. What a great Christmas gift. Dr. Gupta, give everybody your phone number for those who aren't watching the show today.
Yeah, I would love that. I mean, that's a great idea. Just advocate, if someone has expressed that this is a challenge in their lives, right? To be respectful of people, but that would be amazing. You just have to call or text 310-220-4543. Again, 310-220-4543. You can literally just send a text. That's all you got to do. And then you can go to our new website, mindfulwellness.com, but Mindful Weight Loss also will get you to the right place. So the goal is to make this nationwide company that takes, this type of thinking and this type of approach in multiple areas. And we're getting boarded in more and more states right now, working on New Jersey and Oregon. My Arizona license just came through, but Dr. Mishra was always licensed in Arizona. So we're just expanding fast. And the goal is eventually to have all the states. So just contact us. And if we're in your area, we'll let you,
Dr. Gupta, about my personal health issues. And for the first time in 12 years, I'm going to say this to an expert. You are in our prayers.
Thank you.
We want this to succeed. Because, the way I look at it, I'm a religious person. If we can just touch one person each day, oh my God, it's God sent. I love what you do.
Yeah.
And thank you so much. And I think we're going to see you tomorrow also. I believe so. I'll have to look at my calendar. You're looking at me like maybe not. I think we do.
Well, I think tomorrow we have one today at 7, but I don't know if you're just gonna. I'm not sure.
Yeah, we're doing a show at 7 tomorrow, and I believe it's in Las Vegas tomorrow, or Nevada.
No, perfect.
Thank you, Dr. Gupta.
No problem. Thank you, Steve. You're always really kind. Thank you.
I love this. Is my favorite show to do. Anyhow, and we'll see you all next week with more Ask the Experts. Hey,
thanks for tuning. Thanks for tuning in today to the Ask the Experts show on W4CY Radio and Talk4 TV. Tune in next week and every week to hear more from our experts on personal injury, insurance, air condition repairs, estate planning, Medicare, and many other topics in the areas of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. See you next week.